Hello, my name is Robert, and welcome to my channel. I am a nurse, and I've been a nurse for about 2 years, an RN actually, and I wanted to be able to use my expertise and my knowledge and bring this information to you. Today we're going to be opening up a first aid kit, the outdoor camping hiking first aid kit by Be Smart and Get Prepared. I got it from Walmart, and you can actually get it from there from the hiking and camping area. And we're going to go into what all is in this first aid kit, things I like about it, things I don't, things I would change, things I would add. First of all, I want to go ahead and let you know it comes with a whole bunch of stuff. It says on here 250 pieces, and looks like quite a bit. A lot of it is these alcohol prep pads. As a nurse, we use a lot of these. I would always stuff my pockets full of them at the hospital, and they're great for everything from cleaning to making sure things get sterile, cleaning your hands if you have to. It's overall a great thing to carry. I know one of the best things, which you might be able to use just in everyday life, is if you have tape on anything, great way to take tape off. Next is these poison ivy, oak, and sumac cleanser towelettes. These things are amazing, and they help really reduce the amount of itching and basically all the symptoms that you feel with poison ivy. Next is these antiseptic towelettes. Think of them as a bath in a little packet. Be a good way to be able to like wash your armpits, wash your hands, your face. They're just good ways to be able to keep clean. And there's several of those. Next, and one of my favorites, bugs tend to really like me. And so this comes with the sting relief packets. These are little towelettes that you rub on wherever you got stung, and it helps to reduce that stinging and the pain. It has an analgesic, which is a pain remover, so that way you don't have to feel that itch or that pain or burn. Next thing, it comes with a lot of medication. The thing I love about this is that it comes with 2 different pain meds. One is a non-aspirin. This is a Tylenol. Essentially, it's a normal Tylenol. They also do have aspirin. If you're ever out and you start having chest pain, the best thing you can do is chew an aspirin. Call 911 and they'll tell you the same thing. Chew an aspirin. That gives you a little bit more time so that way an ambulance can come and get you and take you to the hospital. Now, I say that an ambulance will come and get you because an ambulance has all the medications that help treat you for a heart attack, where you don't have that in a car. It's better to have that care come to you rather than you go to them. So remember, if you ever have chest pain, chew an aspirin, call 911. Very important. Next, these antacids. They're Tums. They're great if you have any kind of intestinal issues. I know that several of my family, every time we go camping, somebody has some kind of intestinal issues. Next is just a whole assortment of ointments. They have antibiotic ointments, which is great for whenever you get any kind of cut to make sure you don't get an infection. Next is first aid and burn cream. Pretty much that's like when you get sunburn or anything, aloe vera kind of helps treat that. Same exact thing. If you're messing with a campfire, you accidentally touch some coals, or for any reason you get burned, this is a great thing to have. This first aid and burn cream. It does help with that burning. The next thing I want to show you is, I'm not going to open all these, but it has a whole bunch of these little band-aids, and anywhere you go, you need to go ahead and carry some band-aids with you. You never know what's going to happen to you. You may get a small cut, you may get a large one. Get a whole pack of just random different sizes. Always be prepared. Next, and I always carry these with me in the car, are these gloves. You never know what you're going to run into, and me as a nurse, if I see a wreck, I need to stop. I have to be able to see if everyone's okay. You always want to have at least universal precautions, which means you treat everyone as if their blood is contaminated. Best way to do that, carry gloves with you. These gloves will really help you in any situation. They're great. I especially love them because they are nitrile gloves. They feel better than the vinyl gloves. Work awesome. Next, tape is awesome. If you run out of band-aids, you can put a gauze on and just tape it on you. Next thing that I really like is that it comes with tweezers. If you get any kind of splinter, it's the hardest thing to try to get it out with your fingers. It's almost impossible, and a lot of times it is. Tweezers, really great for trying to get those things out. Another thing I've never seen in another first aid kit are these little disposable lancets. If you're diabetic, it helps to get a little blood sample, so that way if you're out of your lancet or you need any kind of way to draw blood, this is a good way to do that. Kind of not as great as the automatic lancets where it just pokes you really quick. You kind of have to force it yourself. But another great thing is you can use this to kind of pry the splinter up if you need to be able to grab it with a tweezer. Another thing that I really like is the moleskin. Imagine you have really tight shoes, the back of your shoes rub up against your heel, you get a blister. This kind of helps to prevent that. If you do have a blister, you put this on there. It provides a little bit of padding. That way it doesn't, it helps so it doesn't hurt as much whenever you do have that blister. So if anything else, if you, especially women with your heels, buy some moleskin. It really does help. Safety pins. Safety pins are awesome because you can use it to be able to pin up your ACE bandage, which comes in the package as well. You can, and it does come with its own clips, but I always tend to lose them. So safety pins work awesome for that. It also helps to be able to pin up anything you need. You rip a shirt, you got a safety pin. You have to make a sling, cut up a shirt. You'll be able to safety pin it so that it'll support your arm. Next are these cold compresses. I can't tell you how awesome these are. All you have to do, they're instant. You just pop them, you just squeeze it, pop it, you got a cold compress. And they get super cold really fast. And if you sprain your ankle, hurt anything where there's swelling, cold compresses really do help to be able to reduce that swelling. A lot of the pain that you feel is the swelling pressing up against nerves or anything like that. It does help to reduce that swelling, take that pressure off the nerve, help reduce some of that pain. Also take yourself one of those non-aspirin painkillers, the Tylenol, and it'll be able to help. Next are these little gauze pads. These gauze pads are awesome because if you do run out of Band-Aids, or these Band-Aids are just not the right size, gauze pad with a little bit of tape, you've got it. This is all you need to make yourself a little Band-Aid. Now that being said, you need to keep it clean and dry. This isn't as waterproof, or isn't waterproof at all, like this is. This is a little bit water resistant, kind of helps to keep it clean. So if you do have to resort to this, be sure to keep it clean and dry. For those cuts that are a little bit bigger, this is awesome. Also works to be able to help clean up if there's a lot of blood anywhere, helps it clean up. Now, one of the things you'll probably see a lot of on movies or shows, if somebody is bleeding, you need to put pressure on it. Grab several of these, just put pressure on there, keep pressure on. It helps clot the cut or the wound, so that way the bleeding stops. Next, my personal favorite, ABD pads. Now these ABD pads are these huge dressings. They work for any kind of large wounds, and they're very absorbent. In fact, even it says it on here, sterile extra absorbent. They work great for any kind of large wounds that are bleeding profusely. You grab that, you grab a few of these gauze, stick it on the bottom, then grab the ABD pad, put it on top. That provides a little bit of water resistance. Put some tape around it, and that helps keep the wound clean. The triangular bandage. The reason why you would use this is if you have to bandage something that still needs to be mobile. If it needs to be mobile, this allows you to be able to bandage it up, provides a better shape so that way you're able to maintain some of that mobility. It does also, on here, give you two safety pins, which are a little smaller than these. Now, these are awesome. I like what came in this first aid kit, but there is something I would like to add to it. A few things. One of the things that I would like to add, it does have antacids, but almost every time that somebody goes camping, somebody ends up with diarrhea. Now, I wouldn't say get this big of a box. They have different sizes. This is the 72 caplets, but you don't have to get this big. But I do suggest get something anti-diarrheal. Loperamide or Imodium, awesome for diarrhea. It normally says take 2 for the first dose and then 1 after every loose stool. Awesome, and I would suggest keeping some in your first aid kit. Then also, if you want, Pepto would be a good alternative. If you don't want to take loperamide for any reason, you're allergic to it or any reason, Pepto is a great thing. I will say this, Pepto is very similar to aspirin, so if you do have a wound, there is a slight possibility of extended bleeding with that, but it still is a good idea to take it if you have any kind of diarrhea. Next, I know it comes with the antibiotic ointment. It's almost never enough. I would buy another one just to keep with you. Neosporin, first aid antibiotic, whatever you want to get, just some kind of antibiotic ointment to help you to keep that wound clean. The worst thing you can get is an infection, because when it spreads, that gets really bad. Next thing that I'm kind of surprised it doesn't have on here is new skin. Now, if there's a small cut, new skin is awesome. What you do, you clean it up, you spray this on there. It's almost like super glue in that it makes a layer to protect it and lets the skin heal underneath it. It's amazing. I've used it on more than one occasion. I would suggest everyone to have it. It's either a spray or brush, different ones. Either one is awesome to keep with you just in case you need it. It's a liquid bandage. Next thing is the complete bite and sting kit. Now obviously this won't fit in the first aid kit, but I will suggest you keep one with you. It does come in its own little case, which is awesome. But if you're out camping, you get bit by a snake, especially in Texas, you know, there's a lot of snakes here, lots of venomous snakes. It's a good idea to go ahead and try to get one of these to help you, any kind of bite, stings, venom. Remember, this is just temporary to buy you time to get to the hospital. All of these things, if there's any kind of wound or any kind of injury that is severe, please make it to the hospital. This is not in any way to help you fix yourself up on the field and just go on with your day. For small wounds, that's fine, but for anything big, especially if you have to use an ABD pad, call an ambulance. Find some way to get help, get medical attention, because this is just to hold you over just long enough for the hospital to take over. And lastly, I want to say you need some scissors. Okay, you will know that nurses carry scissors with them all the time. These are actually ones I got from Atwood's, which is like a animal supply store, a lot like a Tractor Supply or anything like that. These are horses medical shears, but they work awesome. If you ever, especially if you're with somebody else and you need to get something off, I've taken in the ER, I've helped cut out open a shirt, several shirts, stuff like that. It helps really to be able to get access to things when you're short on time. Next, helps to cut any kind of bandages, ABD pads, ACE bandages, anything like that. Awesome. Now I said that was last, but there's one more thing. I would say it's a good idea to get some kind of glow sticks. The reason why is if you're ever in a situation where you need to get somebody's attention and it's really dark, these are awesome. You can see these from far away. Not only that, but you can kind of mark off places like your camp, any kind of trail, anything like that. These are amazing. I would get several of these just so that way you have some access to some kind of light. Of course, always carry a flashlight with you. Hey y'all, that's it for this video. Thumbs up if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more stuff like this, and share it if you think others would like it. Also comment down below to let me know if you want to see something in particular. I'm open to suggestions. Thank y'all.